What's good, family? Welcome back to Shorty Mac TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below, hit the notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a new video, and all those great YouTube things. I'm back. It's been a minute, almost a month now, or maybe even a month. I just landed a new job, so it's kind of hard for me to plan out these videos. But I'm back, and I'm here, to give y'all content that y'all subscribe for. So in today's video, I'm gonna discuss, I don't really have a title yet, but I guess by the end of this video, it'll have a title. A couple of weeks ago, I went on a trip to Florida, Jacksonville to be exact, to visit my brothers. I have two older brothers that stay in Florida. One is currently incarcerated, and we went out there to get his court hearing. Now, the trip started off being, not so good of a trip because of the circumstances. It's court hearing. He got sentenced to, how such and such years, and I might do a video on that, or later on, I don't know. I might talk about that in depth. But the trip, started off not so good because of the circumstances. We going out there, but we have family out there in Florida. Shout out to Stacy. Shout out to everybody out there. Joey. Shout out to Sade. Shout out to everybody, our family out there in Jacksonville. If y'all see this, shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Zoe, all of y'all. We went out there and we visited them, and this was the day after the court hearing. They took us to dinner. No, they invited us over for dinner at their house, and I got the chance to sit down and speak with, I had a long conversation with my mom and Miss Stacy, who is our family out there. And the conversation that we had, I think a lot of people should start having with their family as well, because it's kind of like we sat down and we figured out what that disconnect is between our generation, the newer generation, and our parents' generation. And it was just really good conversation, and I really enjoyed it. So let me just get into like what we was talking about. So they were discussing how this generation, us, are way different than how they grew up. We different. We do things differently than what they do. And then of course they got into the topic about working, and of course they say these young folks don't want to work. They don't want to keep a job. They don't like to work these days. So I sat down and I explained to them. I was like, it's not that we don't want to work, it's that we see our value and we don't want nothing less than what we are valued at. If we work at a company and we're undervalued and they treating us like crap, we have no problem quitting and finding another job. And that's the difference between our generation and our parents' generation. They more so were, this is a job, you gotta get a job to get the bills paid. This is what, what's gonna get the bills paid. You might not like your job, but you gotta deal with it because this is what, getting the bills paid. And they just kind of have that mentality where they have to just sit there and take this stuff because this is, what getting the bills paid, this is how I'm getting by. But our generation, we not with that. We like, the minute we feel undervalued or unappreciated, we chunking deuces and we going on to the next job. And so she was like, why do you think that it is like that? She's like, I noticed a lot of younger people are going into entrepreneurship. They going and starting their own businesses. And she was like, we didn't do that. We didn't have that mentality to even do that. And I was letting her know, like, yeah, we tired of working for the for these Fortune 500 companies, getting these other people rich off of us. We want to be the ones getting rich, so we starting our own businesses and being our own bosses. And so I thought it was interesting because they was like, oh, that is different. And so she was like, do you guys all have like a group or something? Because like this all just happened spontaneously where everybody, oh, I don't know what kind of bug that was. But I was like, you know what, Miss Stacy, no, there's no group that we signed up for. To be completely honest, we all just trying to get back in tune. I was letting her know we all, we it's like we all had this calling where we all had this aha moment where we wake up and, it's a spiritual awakening, and that's what I like to call it. But we all just like on the same wavelength where we're trying to get back in tune to our roots. We getting back to our roots, getting back in tune to things that got lost and back then. But this happened. Everybody kind of woke up, and we on the same wavelength. We all trying to be entrepreneurs out here. A lot of small businesses were birthed through this pandemic, which I knew was gonna happen, and so I was like, yeah, that's just what that's what kind of time we on right now. We ain't really trying to make other people rich. We trying to get rich and be our own bosses out here, because we ain't dealing with this unappreciated, underpaid, and undervalued companies anymore. So it was interesting sitting down there having this conversation with them, and they sat down and they listened to me talk, and I was like, this is great, because this is that I'm watching them have this aha moment, this insight where they're like, oh my God, this generation is they're a lot smarter than us. They got they're using the resources that they were given, and they're taking full advantage of that. And that's really what it comes down to. Our generation, our parents didn't have the resources that we have now. Technology is continuously advancing. They didn't have that. And so seeing them have that aha moment, seeing us, it was just really refreshing, because it was like I seen admiring us for being strong-willed and young as well. And so it was just really nice sitting down, having that conversation and breaking down what the disconnect between my generation and her generation. And it was just interesting to see her have this like realization where she was like, oh man, that's really great. And so I told her about my business and entrepreneurship, and then of course I could possibly expand my business out there in Florida, get some customers out there. Word of mouth is great. And so I did take some of my sea moss out there and made some for my big brother and his lady, and I sold some to her. So this trip, it started off being something like negative, but it ended up being positive for me, because I went out there with my sea moss and made money and potentially expanded my clientele to Jacksonville. So hopefully word of mouth get out and I can get some clients out there in Jacksonville. But I just wanted to bring this up because I think this is a conversation that we should start having with our parents, so they can see, that, wow, this is what my child is, coming up with. We didn't have this growing up. They got resources. And so I just enjoyed that conversation and enjoyed them supporting me in whatever my future endeavors would be. So just to have that support and sit down and have that conversation was really great. And I think a lot of people should have this conversation and just speak to the elders and get some insight from them, because they can help us and we are helping them, because they learned a lot of stuff by just sitting down and listening to me actually talk. I watched my mom, which is crazy because I didn't think that I could ever get a breakthrough to her. I watched her have this aha moment, like, oh, and it was really amazing. So I encourage everybody to have these conversations. You never know how it might help you in the long run. And so another thing that we kind of got into a topic where we started talking is about how all the younger generation are now focusing on being healthy. We are more health conscious now. We are trying to take care of our bodies at a younger age. The generation above us are not so, they didn't really, or they're kind of like now trying to take advantage of their health or try to get that under wraps. And it's like us, we starting early, we starting young, like in our 20s and 30s, so that we can, we don't have to have these generational illnesses passed down, because some of these illnesses that are kind of frequent in a family is because everybody's like eating the same food, having the same diet, doing the same practices. So we talked about how this younger generation are more so focused on getting our health good. We are more so doing healthy alternatives instead of westernized medicine. We're more so focused on herbs, natural remedies, stuff to boost our immune system. And that's another difference between our generation and theirs. We have more resources to get that stuff down than what they had back in the day. So that's another thing that we talked about. We just really sat down and had a great conversation about the difference between our generation and the older generation, and they just admire our young folks, and they like really want to support us. So I thought that was amazing. But yeah, so it was great seeing them notice stuff about us that we built different. We not trying to live the same cycles. We more so trying to break these generational curses, and we not trying to keep the same practices going over, because like doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result is insane. So we trying different things here in this new generation. So yeah, just them acknowledging that was amazing to me, and for them to see that. And so yeah, it was great seeing that. But that's all I have for this video. I just wanted to like share that information and kind of encourage other people to have this conversation. But I thank y'all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below, hit the notification bell so you're notified each time I upload a new video, and all those great YouTube things. I'll see y'all on the next video. Bye.